right, we'll call the meeting for the Cottrellville Township Board regular trustees meeting to order for February 10th, 2021 at 7:31 p.m. Pledge of Allegiance, you want to suspend that or let's go on to roll call attendance, please. Sherry?
Okay, Bev? Bev?
You got her muted, I think, don't you?
Nobody can hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, Michelle's muted.
Bev, press *6 on your phone.
Bev, can you hear us?
If she can't answer. I have no idea if she can hear us or not. She's still in the meeting and she needs to press the *6 to unmute herself.
You want me to text her?
I don't know if she has her cell phone with her because she's not on it. She's on her landline. She should be able to hear me though. I'm texting her
Oh, okay.
because I already had her phone number up here. She said she pressed it 3 times. Okay. Bev, go ahead. Why don't you sign off and sign back in again?
Can you tell her try herself?
She's typing something.
Okay.
Technical difficulties. We lost Sherry too.
Oh,
Okay. They both.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Now, can I put it on speakerphone or is that going to botch it up?
You can try.
All righty, 1 minute. You hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, we can hear everybody now.
All righty.
Okay. Mary Agnes,
I'm here.
Bev,
Here.
Tom,
Here.
Sherry, here.
We got everybody in?
Yep.
Okay, let's continue. The agenda approval, we need a couple of additions. If you go to It would be new business. We need to make corrections on, I have two item number 3, so make the one number 3, 4, number 4, 5, number 5, 6, and then add 7 KCI township assessment notices that need to be printed and sent out. We have to add that to the agenda. We also have to add the Zoom meeting with the county for 4 p.m. Wednesday, the 24th of February. We also have some public comments from Kathy Hugh, 7801 McKinley Road, former township treasurer. With that, I need to entertain a motion to approve the agenda with those additions.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second it.
All right, we have a motion by Sherry and a second by Bev. All in favor signify by saying aye. By roll call vote, please.
Tom,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Bev,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Okay, motion carried. The next agenda is the consent agenda. We have the township board minutes from a special meeting that we held for an audit debriefing, number 2, that was held on January 13th. There's a regular board meeting last month, January 13th. The approval of the township supervisor or township's treasurer's report, the investment report for December 31st, 2020, as well as January 31st, 2021, including all CDs and money markets. We have the reconciliation of the general checking account, the reconciliation of the tax account, the cash summary report by account for general fund for December 31st and January 31st, 2021. We have the approval of our revenue and expenditure report beginning January 1 and ending January 31st. The approval of paychecks, payroll dates that fall between January 1st and January 31st. And the gross total of that amount is $23,579. Paychecks number 2690 through 2712. The approval of accounts payable is $459.12. Those are for bills paid from January 1st to January 31st. And bills that are already paid, there's 25 checks. Checks number 20,711 to 20,735 in the amount of $56,131.33. As far as correspondence, we have the Marine City Fire Authority runs for January and the Ira Township Fire runs for January. That completes the consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay,
I'll
do we have a second to
I'll
that?
second.
All right.
I'll
we have a-
second.
All right, thank you very much. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please. Sherry?
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Bev,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Okay, motion carried. There was no unfinished business. Into new business, we've got a request to pay the St. Clair County Water Supply System number 12, Series 2008 Bond Retirement Program, also known as the Water District 2A. The principal payment in the amount of $75,000, the interest payment in the amount of $14,212.50, plus a $75 agent fee for a grand total of $89,289.50. This payment is due to the financial institution on April 1st, however, shall be mailed and received by St. Clair County by March 1st, 2021. Do I have a motion to approve payment of this bond requirement? I would so move.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Sherry. We have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tom. All in favor signify by saying aye. By roll call vote, please. Sherry?
Bev,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. We have a request to approve payment for another St. Clair County water bond. The second one, Series 2009, also known as Water District number 3 and number 4. The principal payment of that is $125,000. The interest payment is $25,281.25, plus the $750 agent fee per year, for the grand total of $151,103.25. We have a motion to approve payment to Water District number 3 and 4 to the county. I also
I'll
move.
make the motion.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Sherry and a second by Tom. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please. Sherry?
Tom,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Bev,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Thank you very much. Motion carried. The next item is a request for a fire service agreement between the Township of Ira and Cottrellville Township. Its effective date was January 1st, 2021, and it's through December 31st of 2025. These are 5-year agreements, and this new agreement includes a 2% increase each year, rounded up to the nearest dollar. It's an annual fee beginning with January 1st of 2021 in the amount of $3,727. I believe was $3,650. Sherry, am I right with that, or?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, the 5th year will be $4,035. It's going to be paid semi-annually on January 1st and July 1st each year. I gave you last month, I gave you the old ones, so you could compare what they changed. That appeared to be the only thing that they changed was the increase. We haven't had an increase since 2006, and they have been doing us a very good job. And it's, I would like to see this approved again, please. We have a motion to approve the signing of the service agreement by the township supervisor and township clerk, and also include half of the $3,727 for the January 1st payment. I
I'll
would
make
so.
a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Tom and second by Sherry. All in favor signify by saying aye by roll call vote, please. Sherry?
Bev,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Motion carried. Thank you very much. Michelle, I'm going to need you to turn on Chris Hiltman. We're going to do item number 4. It's a request for discussion with the DPS Superintendent Chris Hilton to initiate a program for eliminating all 2- and 3-inch laterals throughout the township that tie into the 12-inch water main, so that all residences, and there's approximately 20 of them, have meters and stop boxes at the road on M29. Chris, are you available?
Yep. So Mary Agnes pretty much touched on it. Throughout the township along River Road, there are multiple lateral lines. And by lateral line, what I mean, there are lines that are running about midway up the property line between River Road and the river. When the new water main was put in, those lines were left in place. A lot of the homes along the river are tied into those underground lines. And we're starting to get some complaints about low pressure issues and repair issues that we have on that line. Recently, the county had done a project where they needed to move a storm sewer, and they had to cross that line. So they had to actually isolate. We had to isolate 2 sides of it, remove a portion of the line so they could get their storm through and put that line back in place. When we did that, we noticed that that was a 2-inch lateral line in there, and that line has actually decreased. I don't want to say decreased in size, but it's been restricted to probably about a 1-inch line that is servicing. I think we have about 8 or 9 homes on that line alone. So a couple of residents in that area have complained about it. We have issues when it comes to repair. There's no easement or anything for those lines. They're just ran through people's yards. So the correct way to address it would be to have a new tap for every home that is affected at the 12-inch water main at the property line on River Road, and have homes tie into those lines. Like I said, we have a couple homeowners right now that are willing to do that, or ready to do that. They were asking what we could do to help out. it is the township's responsibility to supply them a service line. So what I'd like to do is, I think we have about 20 of them. So we would like to budget for the next 2 years to do about 10 per year, and get those lines put in. That doesn't mean that the homeowners are going to tie into them right away, but at some point we're going to have to abandon those lateral lines because we're not going to be able to repair them anymore. They're going to clog up. They're just not going to be used anymore. So at that time, everybody that is tied into it will have to get up to the highway. So I don't know what the board feels about that. I know, we are obligated to supply them a tap. I think we need to do that at the highway. And then I guess we'll have to address the other part of it when it comes time. Some people are willing to tie in right now. Others, there may be an issue with cost for them. So open any discussion or questions.
Chris, how would we do with that? Would we do the taps and then the homeowners run the lines through the taps?
Yeah, so we would install the tap at the highway along with the meter pit. And that would be, I had a cost from one of our contractors for $3,500 to do that work per tap. And then after that, then the homeowner would be responsible for running the line from the property line up to their home.
That's $3,500 a tap to main. Now, is that something that we could put out for bid, or is that just something we could probably use one of the contractors? Or
Yeah,
being that there's 20 taps, I mean, we might be able to save some money if we get a contractor come in and do them all.
Sure. Yeah, we can put something like that out to bid. We just did a ballpark. There's about $1,800 to $2,000 in materials now with the pit and all that. With the price of everything. So, but yeah, I mean, that's not just to have it out to bid.
It was just a question. I didn't realize that the material was that much money either. So that's $3,500 fine.
Nope. Like I said, this mainly discussion, so just to make you guys aware of the situation. But yeah, we can definitely put it out to bid and get, like I said, if we do 10 this year and 10 next year, that's we can handle that within our budget.
Okay. It's just something maybe we can discuss later too.
Sure.
We'll just start spending money to do it. So.
Yep, this is more just kind of making you aware of the situation and let you know once budget time comes here, which is real quick, that we're going to be looking to have that in there. Yeah,
we need to do that anyhow, because that old line being restricted, contamination be one thing, and then breaks in the line be going to be more expensive. That can be out of our kitty too. So
yeah,
real good done.
Most of the issues for brakes and stuff that we've had recently have been on those lateral lines. So getting rid of those is only going to help us.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right, Chris, could I ask you to, like I say, put some prices together on what you think, put it in writing, and then maybe we should prepare a letter and mail it out to everybody. And then if you think we ever get past this COVID crap, we might be able to have a town hall meeting and explain it to everybody that comes into the meeting, so that that they understand that, that this is, we just can't afford to keep fixing this ladder line when we can put good money into brand new one for them and get them, up to date.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will really be surprised once they do tie into the 12-inch water main of how good their water pressure actually is.
Yeah.
So we'll put a letter together kind of stating what our plans are. Like I said, we're going to try to get as many people that will do it, but there are going to be some people that probably don't want to spend that money on it. But at some point, they're just going to be out of water if we don't make it happen. So.
Okay. Is there anybody else on the board that has any other questions besides Tom? If not, I guess we're all set. Don't go away too far though, Chris, in case we have some other questions. All right.
Yep.
All
Thank you.
I don't think it requires any action. We've kind of given him some direction, and we'll just let him finish this and tell us what he wants to do next. All right. Item number 5 is the request for approving the proposal that PCE had given us for discussions with engineers John Monty. I don't know, is Anthony out there? Anthony Theodoro there too, John, or? Is John, Michelle, did you put John in? Michelle?
Yes, Johnson.
Here we go.
All right.
Hello.
You got you, John?
Yep, they're both on now.
Okay.
Anthony
Very
is
good.
on as well.
Okay. Hi, Anthony. I got your change today. I gave everybody another whole set of the paperwork.
Okay.
Can you kind of go through that and explain to me? I tried to call you today, but I didn't get you. I'd like to
Okay.
talk to you about what your change is and just give us what you need tonight approval for,
So-
and then we'll come back with it, the rest of it, maybe next month. Okay?
Sure. So, can you hear me, Mary Agnes?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. So, I guess it would also be helpful to maybe give a little background, to the board, for this, what this project is about. So, it starts really with the SAW grant that the township, undertook back in 2015. So that was a 3-year grant, through the state. And its focus was on developing an asset management plan and a capital improvement plan for the sewer system, the sewer collection system. That was completed and submitted in 2017, October of 2017. And then the following spring, March, the Eagle notified the township that they were looking for a schedule of improvements to the collection system. And that's when we were engaged in order to answer that letter that came from Eagle. And that started the whole process of taking the data that was developed during the SAW grant and that identified deficiencies in the collection system, and that had price tags to it. And in the SAW grant, it was understood that there would be a following loan program called through the state revolving fund that would be able to fund the improvements that the township needed to make. So this is where we arrive at now, because the state revolving fund schedule commences. And so in order to stay on the schedule that we set for ourselves back in 2018, we need to start doing what's called our project plan. So this proposal that I sent you kind of details out the whole roadmap, and it narrows in on what we need right now, which is that project plan. So the project plan is basically it's how we describe, and there's quite a lot of specific requirements from Eagle, but it's how we describe the project and how we show that it is an important project, so they'll prioritize it in their list. So it is a loan, but they have only a finite amount of money every year. And so what they do is they create what's called the project priority list, and that list will last for their fiscal year. So if we want to be in their coming fiscal year, we need to submit our project plan by June to Eagle, June of this year. So there's really a early deadline, which is like a draft that's due in April, and that's only like a month and a half away. And so that'll be the draft, and then we'll have comments from our Eagle coordinators that we met with, Karen Nichols, when we were in the township hall, and then from there it'll go to the Michigan Finance Authority, and then they'll determine if we can be on that list. So they'll usually give us comments back that if there's something they'd like to see, we'll have an opportunity maybe to add to the plan to maybe help our priority level. But at this point in time, the packet basically describes all those requirements that we'll have to complete by April, May, June of this year. And then I did a cost breakdown of the time it would take to do that. And so the change that I made today was I just took the parts out of the whole amount of engineering we would do for the loan. I just took out those parts that are related to the project plan, because basically if we don't get prioritized, then we wouldn't be engaging in a loan this year. We would have to try to build it up for the next round. But or apply to a different program with that project plan. But as it stands now, we have a good chance to be in. We're on target with all our deadlines. And there's the other aspect, which is there's possibilities for principal forgiveness of the loan amount because our project plan has is eligible for what's called the green project reserve. And what that is if you can demonstrate that your project will save energy or will be positive for the environment, then they'll give, not only they'll prioritize you, but they'll give you principal forgiveness. Now, first we'd have to be qualified for that. So that's like a part of this will be that principal forgiveness application. And I can tell you the breakdown dollar amounts for those things. But because our sanitary system runs through a series of pump stations, each pump station, as we make those improvements, will have less volume in theory. So that will give us that rationale for asking for principal forgiveness. So I guess the breakdown for our fees to do the project plan, engineering, the bulk of it is roughly 46,000. And then there's 3 items additional. One is that in the SAW grant, we had sanitary meters that were installed for flow monitoring. And I'd like to have those calibrated as soon as possible, because then we can start accumulating data that we can use for that green energy project. So that's like another $5,000 to calibrate all the meters the township already owns. And then the rate study software will help us provide, and this was a software item we were hoping to get in the very near future anyways. And that rate study software will help us with a financial study, which is a major part of the project plan. And that's $5,300. And then the green project reserve time to do that application is $15,000. So really it's 46,000 plus that roughly 25,000 to equal 72,000, which will get us to the point where we hope the Eagle and the Michigan Finance Authority will approve us for this coming year's budget. So then it would be July 1st would be then approved, and October 1st of this year, and carry into the September 30th of 2022. And
Anthony, do we have, other than meeting all the criteria, is there anything else that we have to do we got to shell out 72,000 for permission for 72,000 tonight? Is that what you want?
I think that that's the time that we're going to take in the next 3 months.
Next 3 months?
Yep, it would be.
You're breaking up on me just a little bit, so I just want to make sure that I'm not the only one that's missing it. Okay, so the meter calibration, the rate study for the software, and then this green thing is 15. So those 3 items plus the 46,000, I guess that was the original, or 41,000 that was the original bid on this thing, is what we want to do. And we have to, is there any chance that if we spend this money and we don't get it, or if we do get it, can we get reimbursed? Can this be part of the money that we need?
If you do get it, then it can be part of the loan amount. And I think they discussed that with us last summer, that that can be the initial amount that you request.
Right. If we don't get it, then are we, some of this stuff, I suppose we do need the rate study anyway, don't we? And the meters we already have, but you need to calibrate them.
Yep.
Explain to me in English what that 15,000 for the green stuff is. What is that again?
So the 15,000 is another parallel application that we'll have to submit in the same period of time, in this 3 months here. And that's for principal forgiveness. So we're going to ask that they forgive the loan amount, or I don't know if there could be a percentage depending on how they prioritize us. it could be up to the whole loan amount is forgiven, down to a percentage of it is forgiven. So then, that's all towards the good, because, we're able to basically convert part of that loan into a grant.
Okay. All right, so we're really not, the only thing that we're really sticking our neck out on is that like 25,000, right? Because the rest of this stuff that you're listing here is all part of the application. Is that correct?
Right. And so, a lot of anytime you go out for a loan, you're going to need to fulfill these requirements, because I don't think the township has done this in a bit. So these
Never.
things are now brought up to date for any funds that you would apply for. So even, for example, in the water system in the future, if you were to apply in the state revolving fund, you need to have these items in there. There's several items, maybe half of them, that are generic for the township.
So they can go for either loan. Or
Yes.
we could even go to another. If we lose this one, then we could still go to an outside lender, right?
Yep, you could go to, rural development. We looked at rural development in the past. That was another good one. And a lot of these things are overlaps. They're parallel
Okay.
items.
All right, Chris, is there anything you want to add to this? Is there,
I mean, Anthony pretty much touched on everything. The question that you asked him and I discussed earlier today, that if this loan process doesn't come to fruition, the money that we spend, I want to make sure that that money is being spent so it could be used no matter what direction we go. And as
that's
Anthony,
what I was thinking.
and that's true. That's what we have to do. So I think we all understand, or some of the board doesn't understand yet, but the sewer system is in pretty rough shape. The lift stations and everything. So this isn't a should we do it. This is the next step of the process that we have to go, because we have sanitary sewer maintenance that needs to be done on all these lift stations and everything. This is something that we've been talking about for a couple of years now, and this is really the process of applying for the loan. This is a loan. It's not, there's no guarantee that this is a grant money. We'd all love free money. We've looked into a lot of grant possibilities. Unfortunately, we don't meet a lot of the criteria for disadvantaged community. I think we had talked about that before. Anthony's done a great job of looking for grant money for us, and the green initiative part that he's talking about is got a lot of good potential of getting some forgiveness. So that is I think it's well worth pursuing that as well. So our timelines are tight. Anthony and John and I have talked about that, so that's why we're coming to you tonight, because that timeline of April is actually just around the corner. And that's the first step to be approved for the money, this next available money. So,
Okay. John, is there anything you want to add?
I think it was pretty well covered. I just want to comment and say that part of your obligation when you receive the grant money for the SAW grant was that you follow through with a project starting to correct your system, so that you don't have to pay back the grant money that you received. So it is just a portion of that, but you might want to keep that in mind as well. You're required to follow through.
All right, board members, is there anybody else that has any other questions?
I'd like to know what the length of the loan is.
So the revolving fund loans are typically either 30 or 40-year loans. I believe that state revolving fund's 30. USD, I think it was 40. They have very low interest rate. I think it's like 1 point something percent. And
the interest, you're only paying on what you draw, right? So if
Correct.
if you don't milk it all out, then
that's right.
whatever you draw, and then you pay back on simple interest. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so we may never hit the whole.
Yeah, we hope that,
enchilada.
we try to make sure that we're giving them as close as possible so that they understand the magnitude of our project. But this will help us to refine that to the actual number. Also will include, different engineering support throughout the project will get included in that loan request. So, inspections and contract administration, all that will be included in when they kick off the loan. So
All right, unless there's more questions,
So that 72,000 will get us to the loan approval process or application for the loan?
So it's kind of like if you go to the bank and get a loan, there's a pre-approval, and then you go ahead and go through your loan process and close. So,
Okay.
so this will get us to the pre-approval part, and then the rest of it is building documents for closing. And when you close, that the schedule for closing would be July of next year of 2022. Then, nothing starts in terms of loan payments until the loan closing.
all right,
Is
so
there,
so
Mary
we're
Agnes?
entertaining the, yeah, go ahead.
is there money in the sewer fund for that amount?
I was looking at that today. It might be a little shy of that, but I think we can probably work it out.
Okay, well, like I said, just curious if we're close to, at least close to having that much money in the sewer fund. So it's not going into the general fund for money, but it's got to get done, right?
No, we don't have a choice.
Project
We're just
control,
limping along right now on one leg anyway.
project control's been in charge of a lot of these projects, so I'm very confident they know what they're doing. We got to make it happen, and hopefully we can get it out of the sewer fund though.
Yeah, I agree. So we're entertaining a motion for proposal for the engineering services of project control engineering for the project plan preparation for the sanitary sewer for 2021 to 2022 Clean Water State Revolving Fund loan, and in the amount of the cost to complete the project priority list of $72,397.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion by Tom. Do I have a second? I'll support. All in favor signify by signing aye by roll call vote, please. Sherry?
Bev,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Motion carried. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
everyone. We appreciate
Good.
the opportunity to work with you. We appreciate it.
I just
Thank
got
you.
a question popped up. What would be the life expectancy of the work that's done?
So the life expectancy, I'll talk on that real quick. The life expectancy is going to be 50 years is I think what we look at. Your system now has been in place and really very limited maintenance done on it in that time period. And we're just, I don't know if we're just starting to see, but we're starting to see, or we are experiencing failures in that system. So we would hope to get 50 years out of and I think is what we're looking for, right, Anthony?
Yeah, that's correct. You can judge based on, you're using 1970s technology. A lot of the pump stations are, and they're still operational. Obviously, at what percent are they operating at it? Our drawdown testing, was some of them less than 50%. So they're just at this point, they're struggling. Any of these events like we just experienced in the last couple weeks put a major strain on the system. And the last thing we need is that those stations give up, and then now we don't have sewer along the waterfront. So that's why it's super important that we keep going, and at least the schedule. We took kind of a hiatus of maybe 2 years to try to get all the financial parts of the sewer fund in order, and I think everything's gone really well in that area. The township's very healthy now financially in the sewer fund in terms of getting the rates where they needed to be from the SAW. So I think that's kind of
That's thanks to Chris and PCE.
absolutely. Chris did an amazing job and
Aggressive.
yeah, and getting the residents to understand the value of it. I think that's clear now.
All right, gentlemen, I thank you very much. We'll
Thank
go
you.
on with the next agenda item. Is number 6. Barb Schutt, The township assessor provided the board with a cover letter regarding the March border review. It also contains procedures for the border review for the members, supervisor, assessor, and the petitioner. We need a motion to approve those procedures to begin with. Do I have a motion to approve the procedures that were supplied by our township supervisor for the border review for 2021? Anyone so move?
I so move.
Sherry,
I'll
was that?
second.
Oh, who was it?
That was Bev and I seconded.
Okay, very good. All in favor signify by saying aye, please. By roll call vote.
Tom,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Bev,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you very much. The next item is for a request for approval of resolution R 2021-02. It's a resolution to adopt poverty exception policy income guidelines. We just approved these in the December resolution 2020-09. Then they came out with a new one here about 2 weeks ago. So we've had to backtrack and we're going to rescind that one, and we're going to ask you to approve this new one. Do we have a motion to approve the resolution 2021-02?
I make a resolution to approve that.
All right, I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye, please, by roll call vote. Sherry?
Tom,
Yes.
Bev,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. Next item is a request for approval of resolution number 2021-03. It's a resolution to adopt poverty exemption policy and asset test guidelines. This will supersede the one that we approved in December 2020-011. Do we have approval? I'm requesting approval for that resolution. Do we have that approval for 2021-03?
Make a motion to approve that resolution 2021-03.
I'll second. All in favor signify by saying aye, please. Roll call vote, please.
Tom,
Yes.
Mary Agnes,
Yes.
Bev,
Yes.
Sherry, yes.
Motion carried. Thank you, everyone. We'll go on to number 8 in new business. It's the Zoom meeting is set up for the county at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, February 24th, 2021. It will be done by Zoom, but we won't be getting the information for it until closer to the date. I just want to make sure that we don't lose that. The next item is public comments. Kathy Shue sent us a couple of lines here that she wants read into the record. Kathy Shue is former treasurer of Cottrellville Township. She lives at 7801 McKinley Road. The first one she asked about was, does the township board have authority in general law township to reduce the elected officials' salary as well as the appointed official salary unless 2 conditions are met? MCL for 1.95 paragraph 2 states that the salary of an elected township official shall not be decreased during the official's term unless the responsibilities and requirements of that office are diminished and the official consents in writing to the reduction in salary. Therefore, the township board may only reduce the board member's salary under these conditions. Which statutory duties of the township of the treasurer were diminished under appointed treasurer Lynn DeLugie 2020 and current treasurer Bev Kopek? No statutory duties were diminished. Statutory duty is just that. It's issued by the state of Michigan, and you cannot diminish them. The next item was January 2021 minutes state that Linda Lee agreed to stay on the as a newly created position. Why was this position created, and when was this position approved by the board at a public meeting? When was this newly created position posted? According to your clerk's report, Linda Logie has never stopped receiving a paycheck from our township after November 2020. That's because she never stopped working for the township. That's all we have for public comments unless someone in the audience is interested. Was there someone, Michelle, that needed to speak?
Does not appear that way.
Okay, we'll go on with announcements then. There's a copy of a public notice seeking a new township board trustee, which appeared in the Voice newspaper on February 10th, was posted on the window in the hall of the hall on February 1st and posted in our township website on February 2nd, 2021. And I think, let's see if I can get that one. I think you all read it, did you not? I just-
Yeah.
Okay. It's on the website anyway. It's in our packet, agenda packet, if you need to look that up. The next item on announcements is we'll be setting workshops up for budget for year ending 3/31/2022 and posting them on the window of the hall and on the website of the township. So as soon as we get some dates together, we'll be putting those out where people want to either come to the meeting if they allow us to have a meeting, or if we're going to do it with a Zoom again. Okay, township board member comments. Is there anybody that wants to bring anything to our attention or speak anything?
How's the seawall doing up on the river?
How's the what?
The seawall repair up on the river by our sewer? That making any progress?
On the sewer?
Next to AJ's.
Oh,
Next
okay.
page.
You were breaking up, Tom. I'm sorry. It has been submitted. I haven't heard anything back from them, but I was going to make that phone call today, but I run out of time. I'll see what I can do about getting something together before the next meeting, but if I hear something, Tom, I'll let you know, and I'll let Mr. McKenzie know also.
Yeah, I was wondering what that ice was doing to all that up there. Make sure someone's watching that.
Well, some of the wall is already gone. 1/3 of the wall was gone when I made that emergency call but thanks to PCE, they helped me fine tune the application with a couple of suggestions, and I sent it in right afterwards. So it went in between Christmas and New Year's. I don't know if anybody even looked at it yet, but I'm gonna give the young lady a call and see if we can find out where it's at. I'd like to take the time to thank PCE for all the work they're doing on this sewer. This is, I know, a kind of a mess to walk into, but we appreciate your patience and especially with talking to a dumb broad like me and handling that stuff, giving us a chance to kind of understand it so that we can explain it to anybody who walks through my door. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, somebody
Okay.
could keep an eye on that ice up there. Imagine that's for a havoc.
Okay. All right. Is there any other board member wants to say anything? If not, I'm entertain a motion for adjournment at 8:19.
Oh, second.
I'll make the motion.
All right, we have a motion by Sherry and second by Tom. Signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next month. God bless you.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.